Hello, this is Scotty O, and this video is on witness consciousness. Or mindfulness is another way of looking at it or calling it. Witness consciousness is basically the practice of mindfulness, and it's been around for quite some time. It's very useful, and it is a practice. And so, first of all, the power of this, the usefulness of it, I can't understate. It's quite life transforming, and mainly because we have limiting conversations and stories for most of us that are going on in our subconscious all the time, and they're subconscious, meaning we aren't even aware that they're happening. And so most of the time we have like an obstacle or an opportunity, and then we or even get triggered, something upsets us or that's based out of our past, and our unconscious programming, which is a pattern over time, then it just goes into effect automatically, and we automatically react. And then, without having something like witness consciousness or mindfulness to recognize that that's happening, we are just on automatic, and we're actually enslaved to our subconscious. They actually did a study that showed how many brain waves are operating and so forth, and our subconscious is like an elephant, and our conscious mind, the part we actually control, had the processing power of an ant compared to the elephant. So just imagine like your ant's going, I want to do this, I'm going to do that, and trying to direct the elephant, and the elephant's going to do what the elephant does, and it takes a lot of practice and skill for the ant to actually, telepathically or bite the elephant or whatever it does to train and change the elephant over time. So, and how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you have control over your consciousness, and our subconscious control has power over us. And so I can't understate the power of this. And the key to unlocking this is witness consciousness. It's actually getting good at this skill, and I'll explain in a minute, so you can catch yourself in stories and then go, oh, wait, that's just an old pattern. That's just an old story. That's not even me. That actually is something I created when I was 6. So what am I going to do now? What's my new action that comes from the evolved me, the future me, or just the current me, the now? But you don't have access to that until you catch yourself in your thoughts. Okay. And again, another version of this is being triggered. Let's say that true for me is that one of my triggers used to be being late. I was had some abandonment issues when I was a kid, and when someone was late for me and they aren't showing up, then I'd make up, oh, they don't respect me, and they don't, you're making me late, and this is hurting my reputation, it's harming others, blah blah. I just go into all these stories that were subconscious in my brain, and I get triggered. And if it happened for a long time or happened repeatedly, I just get upset. And then when I would get upset, I would put that upset on others, which would usually trigger my partner who was the one who was late. But and then I just make things worse, and we get into a trigger tornado, etc. But by having witness consciousness, I'm about to get angry, I'm about to get upset. It's like, oh wait, I notice I'm getting angry, and that's not what I'm committed to. It's more important for me to create love and connection in my relationship than it is for me to be right or to repeat an old pattern. It's I could argue and say should be on time, that I've done it times before, it didn't help, so what can I do this differently? So then I might shift and say something like, hey, is there any way I could support you in getting ready? And then that actually speed things along, and they felt loved and appreciated, and then it got better over time. So witness consciousness. The practice of this is basically first fully experiencing your experience while simultaneously noticing what's going on. So this is distinct from, let's say, watching a movie. Most people are so focused on the movie that they have no idea what's going on around them, and they are totally immersed in it. So that's not quite it. Also, likewise, let's say you're making love and you're worried about your performance, or and you're thinking about, oh, does she like me, or whatever. You start getting into your head about it, and it kind of ruins the experience. That's not what I'm talking about, because that's you taking yourself out of the experience because of your mind chatter and so forth. So this is actually the practice of fully engaging and fully experiencing your experience while simultaneously, kind of quietly in the back, basically noticing what's happening. Now, some ways to know if it's working is that the voice isn't judgmental. It's not saying you should or shouldn't do anything. It's not taking over. It's when you're present, you're actually kind of quieting the mind a little bit, but you're just noticing what's happening. You can take the information later and go, oh, this is what happened, or this is not happening. Or if you're about to get angry or about to go in a behavior that you don't actually want, you can jump in and interrupt it. But you only want to jump in and do that when it's in the way. So it's a practice of doing both simultaneously, and your watcher, the observer, is literally just observing, and it's again not judging, it's not trying to control, it's just noticing what's going on, and noticing if there's patterns, and noticing what's happening, and it's fully noticing everything that's going on. It's both internal and external. So you're noticing the environment, you're noticing your partner and how connected you are with them. You're noticing your feelings and emotions as they're coming up. You're being actually more present and aware of the entire world that's happening, while you're simultaneously fully enjoying the moment to its fullest. Now, just a practical example of this, a couple of is one, again, like I said before, if you can use this to catch yourself in limiting conversation stories, it's going to dramatically change your life. And if you do this, like let's say, like lovemaking, I'll go back to the example. If I'm using witness consciousness, I'm fully engaging, I'm fully present, I'm with my lover. I'm also noticing the physicality, what's going on at the same time as the emotional connection. I'm noticing my presence with her, and making sure that we're connected. And then I can do things like notice, oh wait, I'm about to get close to orgasm, and do like a cobra breath or something that transmutes the energy, so I don't ejaculate on my orgasm without ejaculating, but I can repeat and so forth. And maybe this is a bit graphic, but it's just an example of, then I can be a better lover, and I can also do something and notice if it's having a reaction or not. A lot of times we do one of the things, we get so focused on our formula that we think works, and we aren't connected with what there's going on, or we aren't connected with our own bodies. So we just, do what we do, or we get in our head about it, and it takes us out of the experience, especially if we get critical and so forth. So a whole nother series on that. But it really is useful to get good at this skill. And so ways to practice, ways to implement this into your life. One is just start using little opportunities of witness consciousness when you're doing things like eating, or when you're driving. A lot of times, even when we're driving, we're like automatic. But what if you're like just noticing what's going on around you, what's going on in your body? The next time you're having a conversation with someone, can you stay fully present with them and hear what they're saying and listen to them, and notice, how is it making you feel? Like, it's the sensations and your emotions and your body and the thoughts that are going on in the back of your head, which is just important. And so just look at opportunities to practice that. You can practice in the shower, or while in your restroom. You can practice with the people. And even just taking a walk, like take a walk and just really tune in with your surroundings and your inside. The inside is just as important as anything going on the outside. In fact, if we want to change the external world, if we change ourselves internally, that will automatically impact the external world, in my experience. So this is a key. Once you get good at witness consciousness, and it does take practice, it does take time to get good at it, then it opens up a whole new world that you didn't know was available. You actually start noticing and seeing things that are invisible to you outside the world, inside your own world, and it can be a very useful thing. And so this is a practical application of how to create mindfulness in your life, and some of these other tools in the rest of the video will help you with that too. And hope this helps. So I'm Scotty O. This is about mindfulness. Namaste.